indicates the intensity of the intervention. You can see how students, this is from the Nivitigal area, students are participating, they are searching for the signals and also they are searching for the opportunities. If we can create more opportunities to students, they will definitely grab this. You can see how they are facing and they are like this practice very well. Right. Then the next one, the interactive content development. There are so many available contents in the NIE and the MOE and also the private sector. We can find a lesson in 10, 12 sources. Then the provincial department LMS, the team decided not to duplicate the process. Therefore, more than 90,000 tabs are deployed in the whole the Sri Lanka. And also some of the part of our schools are still not being used in sometimes in Sri Lanka, whole scenario. We have the device and also we have the student and we have the internet connectivity as well, but where is the content? There is a big gap. Even in the smart classroom, I don't satisfy and we don't satisfy the content richness. The smart board is not to use to play or display PDF or video. It can be done, but it's not the purpose. So we need intervention started with the National College of Education, Ruwanpura. They have involved in the volunteer project with the Ruwanpura NCOE, then designed a MOOC course, Massive Online Open Courses. I think you all know about it. And trained this much of teachers from all over the country in volunteer base without spending government money. These teachers are creating and capable of creating interactive contents. And also the Google Labs. It's also an essential part in the application. So even we are mostly using Google Classroom. Already trained this much of teachers. You can see the project with the Ruwanpura NCOE, National College of Education. So altogether it's more than 5,000 teachers trained and they assess them and they assess their capabilities and skill level and they're able to empower them through the LMS as a MOOC course. And finally providing this kind of online e-certificate which can be scanned and verify and scan course they are there. And like this, 6,000 trained. Each and every part of the course, they will earn this kind of badge. If he or she can complete the first stage, they can earn the first badge. We call it the expert of the word wall or something. Finally, they have to earn all these badges. Then they have to face and submit their assignments, and also they have to face a small quiz. If they can get more than 60% of marks, they will earn that certificate. If not, they have to go again and do the same. This is the way of empowering the teachers without interfering with all the teachers. We are in the education sector, we are always trying to train all the teachers in Sri Lanka. Even let's suppose the science, we are trying to train all the science teachers by face to face, but it's not possible within the short period of time. So this is one of the best way to implement. So it's under the recommendations. So this is the facilitation of the less privileged students with the team. This is also the same. You can see they have earned the badge. They smile, but the mask. And finally, the printed papers regarding these practices. In University of Peradeniya IPERS Research Symposium, and also there are a few papers in Colombo University Journal. Research paper, and also one submitted for the conference in the Oxford University as well. The third one, interactive content. So like colors, pictures, sounds, movements and rhythms. So it increased engagement and it was able to active participation and it improved the utilization of available devices. That's the thing. These are the content development tools. Word, goal, narrative, these kind of tools are using, and the Akura program. I think the next will present is regarding So I'm not going to talk about in this time, though we will show it in later. And also the gamification, game-based learning. When the students are having some the devices, they are tend to do some games and they tend to use social media. So we thought that we have to aware them, but we have to do another thing. So we try to develop educational games using some free open source software. So as a practitioner, this is the perspective of practitioner, so we have done the gamification parts through this learning management system. So I will show some contents just for your information. I will move fast. Just 2-3 minutes need for this kind of. No sounds. It's okay. I'll move forward. You can use dictations like this. And the gamifications. The plenty of contents using you can embed everything, and the teacher and student can get the instant feedback. They can try again. So this is it. So the finally it's a one of the biggest effort from the, and it is free for the all over the countries, even not only for the Sri Lankan students, teachers. Anyone can access this learning management system and get the contents. So my research was totally focused on that interventions. So thank you very much. Now I am introducing the next presenters. Mr. Sumudu Koralegedara and Mrs. Amali Vikramasinghe, they are going to present to write letters of students in the first main stage. It's also a COVID-19 best practice, so I'm kindly inviting them to present.
So, together with Koralegedara sir, the primary director, we are going to present how he was managed to overcome a challenge faced by the students of grade 1 and 2, key stage 1, during the COVID-19 pandemic period. This is his proposal or the research or the best practice to write the letters of students in the first main stage with correct shape and pattern Sinhala Tamil, along with giving correct guidance to write Hindu-Arabic numerals 1 to 9 with correct shape and pattern.
අතවශ්‍යම මෙතනදී අපි ප්‍රාථමික අංශය පැත්තෙන් සුවිශේෂී කාරණයක් සම්බන්ධයෙන් අවධානය යොමු කළා මේ කාරණේ සිදු කළේ. ඒ තමයි 2020 අවුරුද්දේ මාර්තු මාසේ 13 වෙනිදායින් පස්සේ වැඩිපුරම ඉගෙනුම් හානියකට ලක්වෙච්ච දරුවෝ කණ්ඩායම 1-2 ශ්‍රේණිවල අධ්‍යාපනය ලැබූ කණ්ඩායම. කොවිඩ් පැන්ඩමික් සිටුේෂන් එකේ ආරම්භක අවස්ථාවේදීම 1-2 ශ්‍රේණිවල දරුවන්ට සිංහල භාෂාව සහ දෙමළ භාෂාවේ ඇඩය හා රටාව සහිතව ලිවීමට නොහැකි වීම බරපතල ඉගෙනුම් ගැටලුවක් විදිහට තමයි පළාතක් විදිහට ගත්තේ. ඊට පස්සේ මේ කාරණය සඳහා අපි දරුවන්ට දිය හැකි උපරිම ඉගෙනුම් අවස්ථාවක් සම්පාදනය කිරීම විශේෂයෙන්ම රට වසා තබා තිබුණු අවස්ථාවේදී ඊටාම සීමිත කණ්ඩායමක් පාවිච්චි කළා සබරගම් පළාතේ අධ්‍යාපනය ලබන දරුවෝ 32000කට ආසන්න ප්‍රමාණයක නිවසේ සිට දරුවන්ට අකුරු ලිවීම සහ අකුරු කියවීමේ හැකියාව ප්‍රවර්ධනය කිරීම සඳහා සිංහල භාෂාව පැත්තෙනුත් ඒ වගේම දෙමළ භාෂාව පැත්තෙනුත් හින්දු සහ අරාබි ඉලක්කම් අංක 1 සිට 9 දක්වා ලිවීම සඳහා වන ඉගෙනුම් ආධාරක සකස් කිරීම සඳහා තමයි අවධානය යොමු කළේ.
To overcome said challenge, distance learning method was used. You all know, after the 13th of March 2022, we all face the problem, the COVID pandemic period. Due to this pandemic situation, the mostly affected group was the key stage 1, grade 1 and 2 students. Though there are certain distance learning practices, still they couldn't get used to them as they are very small. They are just starting their formal education. So as a remedy, actually the primary team has identified this challenge and they have initiated a very good program to overcome that challenge. So for the the research, the sample, take the selected sample as 34, 10 teachers, teacher advisors or principals, 10 teachers of 1 and 2, and parents. That was the sampling. And the method that they have used or employed are interviews, questionnaires, and group discussions. Now, after all these things, they have discovered the learning difficulties these children due to this pandemic situation. One is lack of teacher support to write letters and numbers in correct shape and pattern at home. Actually, you all know, for small children, the teacher should be physically available and she or he has to guide the students to write the letters or the numbers. But here, in online mode, whether it is Zoom or maybe any other mode, it is very difficult, distance mode. So difficulty in providing technical support for correct writing of letters and numbers were identified. So this is what they have done. Now, the students at home lost the steps needed to write letters. Usually, there are certain steps to be followed when a small child is going to master writing letters and numerals. First one, introducing the letters with sound and pictures, writing letters in the sky, and writing letters in the valley peel, usage of Hidespata, selecting relevant letters correctly, writing Kadairi in the 5-rule book, writing letters in the 5-rule book, and finally writing letters in the single rule book. Actually, there are 8 stages. They have lost all those 7 stages due to this inability to cooperate with the physical mode. Even when we consider the Hindu-Arabic numbers also, there is a procedure. I think Corlesa will explain them in Sinhala too because it is very important.
විශේෂයෙන්ම 1-2 ශ්‍රේණිවල දරුවන්ට අපිට දුරස්ථ අධ්‍යාපන ක්‍රමවේද හරහා මේ ලබා දීමේ අපහසුතාවය බරපතල විදියට තියෙනවා. මොකද පූර්ව භාෂා කුසලතා පමණයි මේ වෙන විට දරුවෝ සම්පූර්ණ කරලා තිබුණේ. ඒ නිසා එක ශ්‍රේණියට අදාළව තියෙන සිංහල සහ දෙමළ භාෂාවේ අක්ෂරත් ඒ වගේම 1 සිට 9 දක්වා ඉලක්කම් කියවීම සහ ලිවීමේ තියෙන දුර්වලතාවය නැත්නම් ඒ තියෙන ඉගෙනුම් ගැටලුව සඳහා විශේෂයෙන් අපිට ක්‍රමවේද 8ක් සාමාන්‍ය පන්ති කාමරයේදී භාවිතා කරන්න තිබුණත් කොවිඩ් තත්ත්වය තුළ මෙය සිදු කිරීමේ හැකියාවක් ලැබුණේ නැහැ. එතනදී විශේෂයෙන්ම ඒ කරුණු 8 ඔබට පැහැදිලි කිරීම සිදු කළා. මේ කරුණු 8 දරුවන් කරා අත්කර දීම සඳහා වඩාත්ම සුදුසු ක්‍රමවේදයක් භාවිතා කිරීම කියන කරුණ කෙරෙහි තමයි අවධානය යොමු කළේ. විශේෂයෙන්ම ඔබ දකින්න ඇති අපේ නියැදිය ඊටාම සීමා වෙන්න තියෙන ප්‍රධානම හේතුව තමයි සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම රට වසා දමා තිබෙන අවස්ථාවකදී තමයි මේ කාර්ය සඳහා අපේ ටීම් එක කටයුතු කරන්නේ. ඒ නිසා ඊටාම අඩු කණ්ඩායමක් තමයි මුලින්ම හම්බුනේ. නමුත් මෙහි අවසාන නිමවුම කරා යනකොට සියලු දෙනාටම භෞතික වශයෙන් දුරස්තව නොවි වැඩ කරන්න සිදු වුණා මේ කාර්ය සාර්ථක කර ගැනීම සඳහා. ඒ වගේම ඉලක්කම් සම්බන්ධයෙන් ඇති වෙලා තියෙන තත්ත්වයක් ඊළඟ ස්ලයිඩ් එකේදී පැහැදිලි කිරීමක් වෙනවා.
The same procedure should be employed when writing numerals too. So it is shown there. Reading numbers aloud with pictures, writing numbers in the sky, writing numbers in the Valipilla, usage of Hidespatha, selecting numbers correctly, writing numbers in the boxes and introducing numbers with the materials. All these steps were restricted in COVID-19 pandemic period. So, in practicality of writing letters and numbers through assignments and exercises according to remote methods in COVID-19 situation, the primary team was searching for a remedy or to overcome this challenge. So this is the strategy they have used to overcome these challenges. Preparing transcripts for activity-based video lessons for writing letters and numbers. Now here, selecting resource group with teachers in Ambilipitiya, Godakevala, Nivitigala, Sumana, Ratnapura, Mihindu, Kolonna, and preparing resource group of and teachers in CC Tamil. All these schools, from schools, the teachers were taken as resource persons, and they have video in them. And then they have, in the video, it is clearly instruct to the students how to write it. And even as I have already going through this project, I know even they can touch. No, by touching it, they can practice the patterns. That is how it was introduced. So finally, preparing 60 video lessons based on writing activities with 60 letters of Sinhala medium with correct shape and pattern. And also prepare, it is not only for Sinhala, this is very historical because preparing video lessons for writing letters in Tamil medium too. And prepared 18 video lessons for writing Hindu-Arabic numerals in Sinhala and Tamil medium. Providing 118 relevant video lessons as DVD and CD to the students. And also providing relevant video lessons as pen drives. Actually, there was a sample here. Pen drives, you can see the sample, pen drives to 1,004 schools with the support of UNICEF. So, on behalf of the primary team, I would like to make this an opportunity to convey our gratitude for UNESCO to actually sponsoring that good endeavor. And also preparation of online learning opportunities as interactive lessons through the Sabaragamuwa Provincial Education Department's e-NNPS website also done by the primary team. Actually, from this tiresome effort, the primary group was able to fulfill a beautiful dream of grade 1 and 2 primary students. So these are the results or the outcomes of this project. As a nutshell, preparing video lessons on writing letters and numbers as DVD, CD, pen drive, and providing opportunities for students to study them at home and in the school classroom. Either classroom or at the school, they will be able to use this app and do the relevant required practices. The inclusion of relevant video lessons as a series of interactive video lessons into Sabaragamuwa province ENNPSL. Even today, you can go to ENNPSL and log into Akura, and you will find how marvelous it is and interesting it is. And also, follow-up and regulation of the methods and use of the students studying the relevant video lessons and supervision is done by the teachers of primary grades. So that is how they have outlined it, and final outcome or the expected outcome of this project is to improve the literacy of future generation. So that was all about the project and how it has become a very good practice in Sabaragamuwa distance learning mode. So over to you, Koralekidra sir.
ඇත්ත වශයෙන්ම මේ චතුර්විධ භාෂා ක්‍රියාකාරකම් වල සවන් දීම, කතනය, කියවීම සහ ලිවීමේ ආරම්භක අවස්ථාව විදිහට තමයි අපි අකුර සහ ඉලක්කම වැඩසටහන හඳුන්වලා දුන්නේ. විශේෂයෙන් අපි කොවිඩ් කාලය තුල අපි යුනිසෙෆ් සංවිධානයට විශේෂ ස්තුතියක් පළ කරනවා. අපේ පාසල් 1004ටම පෙන් ඩ්‍රයිව් එකක් විදිහට මේක ලබා දීමේ හැකියාව ලැබුණා. ඒ වගේම තමයි PDF එකක් විදිහට මුද්‍රිත පිටපතක් විදිහට ලබා දෙන්න හැකියාව ලැබුණා. හැබැයි අපි අමතක කරන්න බැරි කාරණයක් තියෙනවා. සියලු දෙනාම මේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් අවධානය යොමු කරන අතරේ මම පළාත් අධ්‍යාපන අධ්‍යක්ෂතුමාට විශේෂයෙන්ම මේදී ස්තුතිය පළ කරනවා. මේ කාර්ය සාර්ථක කර ගැනීම සඳහා එතුමා තමයි අපේ මේ සම්පූර්ණ පර්යේෂණ කණ්ඩායම සහ ක්‍රියාකාරී කණ්ඩායම පිටුපස සිටියේ. එයා මම මේ අවස්ථාවේ සිදු නොකළොත් එච්චර හොඳ දෙයක් නෙවෙයි. ඒ නිසා මම ඒක ඉතාම ගෞරවයෙන් සිහිපත් කරනවා. ඒ වගේම ENNPS කණ්ඩායම විශාල සහායක් දුන්නා මෙහි වීඩියෝ ටීම් එකේ සිට මේ කටයුතු ටික සිදු කිරීම සඳහා. අවසාන වශයෙන් මෙහි තියෙන වටිනාකම තමයි තව අවුරුදු 20ක් 25ක වගේ කාල පරිච්ඡේදයක වුණත් මේ පෙන් ඩ්‍රයිව් එක සහ අකුර අඛණ්ඩව අධ්‍යාපන පද්ධතිය තුළ ප්‍රයෝජන ගන්න කාලය බවට පත් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. ග්‍රේඩ් 1 to 11 ඕනෑම දරුවෙකුට තමන්ගේ අකුරු ටික සහ ඉලක්කම් ටික සකස් කර ගැනීමට මේක භාවිතා කිරීමේ හැකියාව තියෙනවා. ඒ නිසා ඇඹිලිපිටිය අධ්‍යාපන කලාපයටත් මම විශේෂයෙන් ස්තුති කරනවා මේ පර්යේෂණය සඳහා දායකත්වය ලබා දීම පිළිබඳව. අපි එහි පුංචි වීඩියෝ දර්ශනයකින් මෙම සෙෂන් එක අවසන් කරනවා. බොහොමත්ම ස්තුතියි.
මගේ දූල පුතාලට ප්‍රශ්නයක්ද? එහෙනම් පුතේ පුතාලගේ ප්‍රශ්න විසඳන්න අකුරු ටික ලියන හැටි ඉගෙන ගන්න ටීචර් මේ උදව් කරන්නයි සූදානම් වෙන්නේ.
ගයනු සයනු ගසයි කියලා ගංගා අක්කා කියලා දීලා ගයනු ලයනු ගලයි කියලා ගසයි ගලයි ඇඳලා දීලා.
Fingertips. Yes. Even from the mouse you can do. Right, thank you very much for the primary director, Mr. Koralegedra and Mrs. Amali Vikramasinghe. So today our symposium hall fully packed. But can you imagine 2 years ago? Before 2 years, I think we had to maintain social distance. But the secondary students, they try to manage. But primary students, they needed close help from their teachers to write the characters. So this is the research finding. It's kind of, we can say, action research methodology has been used in. I would like to thank you, appreciate their effort to maintain and deliver this kind of innovative thing to the country. Still, any student can go to this platform and write the characters by themselves. They can use fingertips on mobile devices, and also they can use the mouse to write, and also there is a guideline to follow. If you are a parent, you don't know how to write G, you can go there and download that PDF and follow. So it's a good practice. So thank you again. So I'll move to the next session. It's for the Mrs. Husna. She's going to talk about the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the students with special needs in Sabaragamuwa. So we from the morning we are talking about the older students. Right now we are moving for the special needs students. What happened to them? So let's listen to the Mrs. Husna.
Good evening, everybody. First, I have to introduce myself. I am Husna. I am the director in charge for special education children in Sabaragamuwa province. And as a provincial department of education, we are providing education in 3 categories. As segregated education, we have 3 schools, means separate schools for children with special need, Yashodhara and Mavanalla Kotagala and Amampitiya. So we have 3 segregated education centers for the province. Second, we have integrated education. It means we have units, special education units in our schools, government schools. We have 97 special education units in Sabaragamuwa province. And third one, we have practiced inclusive education in our schools. In general classroom, there are students and our teachers have been fully trained. So altogether we have 1,057 students and 149 teachers, and we have I think we are success. And I have been watching the presentation since morning, the presentation from JICA and the Tarindu from Save the Children. And myself, we are talking about the children with special need and how they affected by COVID-19 during 2020. And my so the problem is this: due to COVID-19 pandemic, school closures have brought about an unexpected and extraordinary challenge for education providers such as school leaders, administrators and teachers, as well as parents in their effort to ensure continuity of quality learning. So the problem we face in 2020, March 12. Parallelly, many countries, including developing countries like Sri Lanka, have started to incorporate online teaching and learning technology to mitigate learning loss. While the COVID-19 pandemic affected the entire world, not everyone was affected equally. Research suggests that the damage caused by the pandemic can widen the already existing gap or existing inequalities that affect students with disabilities. In this study, the aim is to examine the parents' perception, because during the COVID, schools were closed and everyone were in home, so it was very hard for me to contact them. So I selected only 15 purposive sampling because it was easy for me. And the study, the aim to examine the parents' perceptions of distant learning provided for students within special education units in Sabaragamuwa provincial schools during the COVID-19 pandemic. We have 7 zones and 11 ISAs. As a team, we got together and work for the children. We never neglect them. We included them. We try to include them in our learning and teaching process. The problem sentence of research. So this is my problem sentence. How do students with special needs continue their education during COVID-19 pandemic? This is my research questions. And the sub-questions related to the problem statement are, what kind of practices are carried out based on the emergency distance education during the COVID-19 pandemic process for students with special need who continue their education through online classroom when they were at home? The second sub-question, what are the problems that the students with special need who continue their education through online education facing during COVID-19? And the third one, what are the expectations of parents about these platforms or these type of online teaching and learning methodology? So my methodology is this. In order to make an in-depth analysis and description, the study was employed phenomenology as the research method. The study focused on the parents of students with special need according a purposeful sampling, as I mentioned earlier. This method was utilized to determine the participant. The sampling size had 15 voluntary parents of students with special need as a minimum number. These parents had children between 9 to 14 years of age with different disability identities, both physical and mental disabilities. Research data have been collected through semi-structured interview and analyzed by inductive method. Data analysis has shown that students with special need have contributed their education via distance education. We have conducted Zoom teaching and telegrams and WhatsApp groups. We made WhatsApp groups with teachers, parents and students. And we provided teaching and learning activities through the ISAs in zonal levels. However, several negative consequences of school closure on academic performance have also been noted as follows. This is the demographic characteristics of the participant. I think the slide is not clear. So these are my findings. Many children with special need could not follow the Zoom classes, and most of them did not attend remote learning. My second finding is they did not receive constructive feedback about their activities from their teachers. The third finding, most importantly, these children did not receive support services like clinics. They couldn't attend clinics, so they didn't get enough support services for educational, and there was no communication and cooperation among teachers, families and students. My last finding, moreover, the findings have highlighted that school closures precipitated by the COVID-19 pandemic have caused a significant learning loss for the children with special need. So, my suggestion, instead of explaining method and data analysis and how I analyze the data, I'm going to spend my time to explain the suggestions, because tomorrow we need the suggestions to prepare our lessons, our sessions tomorrow. So my first finding is promoting peer learning and collaboration. You check, I mentioned 10 suggestions, but the first 5 for teachers, because in my opinion, we have to empower teachers to do their work well. That's why first 5 suggestions for teachers. So promoting peer learning and collaboration, so teachers benefit most from peer-to-peer engagement, as it enables them to see what is possible. Teachers skilled in specific areas such as deaf education, braille, behavioral management, and supporting language and communication, or teaching children with special education needs can be an asset to teach and share strategies with peers. So if there are some good practices are identified through from teachers or teachers union or the students, which become a part of the learning material for other teachers. We use class recordings and videos, and sometimes the observation while sitting behind the class. So I think the peer learning for teachers is very important instead of rather than the students. The second, developing increased awareness and expertise of different technological skills to help teachers understand the practical and appropriate uses of technologies in teaching and learning. This is not only of immediate concern, but must also be part of the long-term strategy, so that teachers are familiar with and able to use low-cost technological interfaces to support diverse learners in inclusive ways. This will be important not only as schools are closed, but also as they slowly reopen and rely on a blended approach to learning. My third suggestion, that is also for teachers,